Hello guys, how's it going? My name is Dal. And so far for the patch 10.2, my main rogue is stacked with as much gear as humanly possible. And for many of us that have been working on our mains since the launch of Season 3, all of us should be pretty close to getting our characters outfitted with some of the best in-slot gear possible, which has left me spending even more time gearing out some of my old characters. The fun part of gearing alts in a brand new season is the ability to experience some of the strongest class specs in the game, whether you're looking to pick up rogues, demon hunters, beastmaster hunters, or augmentation evokers, but also an opportunity to revisit some of our favorite playstyles, even those that were maybe underrated in the previous season but are now looking to improve and grow even stronger within Season 3 content. And so far, in the early weeks of the patch 10.2, we've seen a lot more playstyles rise in popularity, particularly when it comes to class specs, which weren't really all that popular within the previous season, but are getting a ton of traction during the Season 3 Mythic Plus content. So in today's video, I wanted to highlight some of the classes that have been able to go from a zero to hero journey over the last few weeks, and spotlight some of the playstyles which have seen unexpected resurgence in popularity, in case you're looking to gear out and play some new alts for the patch 10.2. But right before we get into this class highlight video, most of you guys watching these kind of updates are still not subscribed. However, the more of you remind, the more of you do, so let's keep it going. Subscribe to the channel and ring the bell if you're watching these videos anyway, especially if you want to get more regular content regarding Dragonflight patch 10.2 or any of the future updates going forward. The first playstyle I wanted to highlight for this video is the Mistweaver Monk, which has gotta be one of the most fun melee healing playstyles available within Dragonflight. Mistweavers don't often spend a lot of time in the spotlight, especially when it comes to the performance within the Season 1 and the Season 2 of Mythic Plus dungeons. However, now is the time to shine for Mistweavers in the patch 10.2, since the spec has been blown up when it comes to overall popularity. There's multiple factors as to why Mistweaver Monks right now is shooting ahead of every other healer, but I think what helps him out the most in this current meta is the high on-demand healing, either through cooldowns or through moment-to-moment spells and abilities, which makes the spec feel reliable, particularly thanks to the strong new tier set added for the Season 3, which offers a fantastic amount of single target and small group healing. In this season, most Mythic Plus dungeon encounters are going to be high stress for healers when it comes to topping off your party, and currently Mistweavers have some of the easiest time getting everybody back up to speed and into a healthier state. But besides this, Mistweaver Monks also have fantastic mobility and can even heal while moving, which makes them less restrictive than every other healer. Personal survivability is also a huge strength of the Mistweaver, as they have a massive array of defensive cooldowns in order to make sure that they stay afloat no matter the encounter. The playstyle also has plenty of crowd control tools, whether we're talking about single target disruptions such as interrupts and paralysis, or group-wide disruptions with their leg sweep as well as Ring of Peace. Overall, Mistweavers found a lot of success so far within Season 3. It's a playstyle that sadly does not get a lot of time to be in the spotlight, but right now is the perfect opportunity for any of you that are even mildly interested in checking out Mistweavers to give them a go right now in the patch 10.2. Another playstyle that has found a ton of success so far within the early Season 3 is the Protection Paladin. Compared to Season 2, which was largely dominated by the God comp, Protection Paladins fell by the wayside together with Protection Warriors. But as of the newest season, we've seen a resurgence of Protection Paladins dominating within some of the high-end M+ content. Generally, a Paladin is the perfect class to deal with most dungeon affixes and enemy encounters, by granting their allies immunities to either magic damage or physical damage with either spell warding or protection, or even sharing some of their pain with the Blessing of Sacrifice. This set of seasonal dungeons are very caster heavy, whether we're talking about Waycrest Manor, the Dark Heart Thicket, or even the Throne of the Tides. All of these dungeons contain powerful wicked casters, which can easily eradicate any members of your party if not managed with interrupts. Protection Paladin is the perfect caster counter, with its Avenger's Shield interrupt as well as Divine Toll, which helps shut down enemy casters while reducing threat to your party. And because these dungeons are so caster heavy, you have a good deal of physical and magical damage for tanks to deal with, which Protection Paladins can mitigate at above average level, with excellent survivability cooldowns as well as self-healing and absorption effects. Besides their restrictive tier set, the spec actually puts out fantastic damage output if it can plan around its consecration windows. which makes him overall an excellent addition for any dungeon group within the patch 10.2. Up next, I wanted to highlight some of the caster classes which have seen a resurgence within Season 3, starting off with the Demonology Warlock, which has seen a pretty drastic shift in its overall playstyle as well as its damage profile during the development of the patch 10.2 PTR. The spec is a lot more sustain heavy, with a lot more emphasis on some of your basic demons and your spellcasts, with the patch focused on shifting away a lot of the power from some of your bigger cooldowns and massive demonic summons onto your basic rotational abilities, which overall helps Demonology maintain more than competitive damage output, allowing them to deal strong AoE burst damage but also strong AoE sustain damage, or change out their talents to be able to counter bosses much more easily. The spec has fantastic survivability as always, and Warlock Curses are a very unique mechanic only available to this playstyle that allows you to drastically change the effectiveness of your enemy, with the ability to amplify these afflictions with a stronger Curse of Tongue or a Curse of Exhaustion. Lastly, this caster benefits highly from the popularity of Demon Hunters, which all bring with them a debuff that causes all enemies they strike to take additional magic damage, which synergizes well with the Demonology's AoE and single target capabilities. But another spec that also benefits well from running with Demon Hunters is the Balance Druid, which unlike Demonology saw only a few smaller talent tweaks during the development of 10.2, where the goal primarily was to keep some of their familiar builds strong, but to open up new avenues to experiment with other types of different playstyles, which has resulted in strong single target as well as an AoE damage profile. Particularly within AoE content, they output some of the best sustained group-wide damage, which is perfect because some of these dungeons are just packed to the brim with so many mobs. Besides this, Balance Druids offer some of the best Mythic Plus utility and disruptions, from a AoE Solar Beam to Typhoon, Ursul's Vortex, Incapacitating Roar, as well as a Soothe to de-enrage foes, a Root to keep enemies in place, a Battle Res, and an Innervate for your healer. And lastly, I wanted to highlight a melee class within this list, where I have to put in Assassination Rogue as part of this roster. Assassination Rogues didn't really see a lot of playing in Season 1 or Season 2 of Dragonflight, but in Season 3 the spec has been improving thanks to the massive rework that all Rogue specs saw within 10.2 development. Currently, Assassination boasts fantastically strong single-target bursty profile that helps you cleave nearby enemies while focusing on that primary target. However, if you choose to spec into an AoE-focused Assassination Rogue, you'll be able to easily do so with some of the new tools available within the talent tree. Assassin Rogues are also great when it comes to group disruptions, from easy things like interrupts, gouges, but also an AoE blind to disorient multiple enemies at a time, but also a Garrote which silences enemies but also with the talent of Iron Wire reduces the amount of damage they deal to your tank. And with talents like Indiscriminate Carnage, silencing multiple targets and spreading the debuff on all of them at once allows to keep your tanks healthier, which we'll be doing quite often, especially since we now incorporate Shadow Dance as part of our regular gameplay, which opens up for more Garrote, silencing, and Indiscriminate Carnage cleave capabilities. Another strength of Rogues in Mythic Plus dungeons is Shroud of Concealment, which can now gain a much shorter cooldown, which gives your group so much more flexibility when it comes to avoiding certain trash bags, while increasing the overall maneuverability of your party. As per usual, if you guys enjoyed this video or found it informative, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. I would very much appreciate it. And as always, in the description of every single video and live stream, we have a link to our Discord community channel. Probably the best place to reach out to me directly in case you want to let me know what you thought about this video or hang out with the rest of the community to discuss some of the upcoming changes. Join our Discord to become part of the community. But otherwise, thank you all so much for watching this video. I do hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know all of your thoughts down below. And as always, I'll see all of you guys in another video.